preparing to live stream the meeting. And we are live. All right, everybody. So thank you for joining us today. My name is Taha Abbasi. I serve as the Chief Strategy Officer at Ferrum Network. And today we are absolutely ecstatic to introduce to you and to celebrate with you some of the awesome achievements that have happened, some historical moments that have happened over the last 24 hours that took weeks, if not months of work to build up. We're here today to talk about BK the Artist's first NFT drop, The Hands of Time 2, that was done in partnership with UREEQA. It was the first responsibly minted NFT by UREEQA. And it was also done in partnership with NetVRk. And we have the whole team here from the Ferrum NFT side that helped put that together. There's obviously a lot more folks behind the scenes as well. We also have Harsh, who's the CEO of UREEQA. We have Dan, who's the Chief Marketing Officer of NetVRk. We have Marco, who's actually a governance committee member at Ferrum Network. And then we have the man himself, BK the Artist as well. So, I mean, wow, just with what we've just done, I think it really is a historical moment. With the NFTs, your art itself, BK, has really priceless intrinsic value. But now we can see sort of the impact of what that has done in the NFT space with your entry, and you've really made a footprint in the space with the 5 editions accumulating close, I think, over 39 ETH, and just having a blast and making an impact really in the space, which is more important than anything else. So just want to get your input and your take. What are you feeling right now? What are you going through, and what does this moment mean for you, BK? You might be on mute, Roko. Yep.
Yeah, I got you. Well, first of all, thank you for the introduction. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming to the celebration, because it is just that. It's a wonderful day. I'm feeling thankful. I'm feeling grateful. You know, it's months of planning. Like you said, it's appropriate that Marco's sitting in the middle, because I remember one of the initial conversations I had with him that was the impetus for all of this was, you know, there was this exciting new space and I was uniquely outfitted for it, and to kind of explore and see what could happen. And so it's just one of those times in life where I feel like all the puzzle pieces were on the board, and I'm so grateful that, you know, I met you guys, and not just because of what we produced as far as the NFT and the artwork, but working with you has been a pleasure. I feel like I'm walking in the pages of the history books right now, you know, from the minting the other night to, I feel like we watched something come alive, like a birth, you know, we set it out into the world, and it was beyond what I had expected. You know, I always try to manage my expectations. I've learned that as an artist. But I also want to tell you just some raw truth. You know, I really feel like I'm prepared for this. You know, like when you work so long at something like that, and it's been your life journey as it has been mine. It's the idea, like if you put the work in and the practice, then you know you've done your end of it. And so that's why I'm, you know, ecstatic to have met, you know, a team of like you guys who handles the other side. And I think when we came together, we made magic today. We absolutely tattooed our names in history, and I'm looking forward to what comes next.
Awesome, love it.
Yeah, BK, first of all, congratulations, man. I'm so happy for you right now. I'm happy for this entire team, man, but like what you did today was absolutely incredible, and you deserve it so much. Your art really speaks for itself, and I think people really got their money's worth today with what they bought. You know, I saw a tweet from UREEQA earlier today that said, when you meet BK, you can't help but root for the guy. And the moment I met you, like I instantly was like, you know, drawn to you. You're like, you're awesome, man. And working with you has been like a real pleasure. I'm going to be down in Florida for the Bitcoin conference in June, so I want to link up and celebrate in person. But just want to congratulate you, man. And you know, this whole team has really been incredible. We've been working with Harsh for quite a while with UREEQA, and you know, one of the most professional teams in crypto that we've seen, and they really came through with this, and it's incredible. And Dan, we're we're excited for the TGE, man. Let's do it.
It's so sick, man. So it's what you've said is so funny in the sense of like how things kind of come together. And this is what Ferrum and our partners, you know, UREEQA is a Ferrum incubated project and is one of the most successful ones. NetVRk's gearing up to be right up there with UREEQA. And I think we're just blessed to be in great company. But what's more than that is how our community kind of helps each other. And when I talked to Marco on that standpoint a little bit, Marco, most of you might not know, is actually on the Ferrum NetVRk's governance committee. And the committee serves a really important role, an integral role in helping define the decisions we make and really gear the direction that Ferrum takes on some of our core decisions. Marco's actually the person that connected us to BK initially as well. So Marco, I'd love to get your take on what you're feeling in this moment. Maybe tell us a little bit of some inside stories around like how you met BK, how that connection came about, and how we ended up here today.
BK is laughing already. Taha, thanks so much for the introduction. I met BK a few years back at a gallery that he had like a forum, a panel discussion. And people that follow a little bit of hip hop scene, they know about Ebro from Hot 97, Ebro in the Morning Show. He was sitting on that panel. Talib, obviously legendary hip hopper from New York, was sitting on the panel. And it was me and my wife, first time came to the gallery. And after a few minutes, my wife touched me and was like, "Hey, he's killing them." I was like, "Yeah, I felt the same." He literally destroyed Ebro and Talib on the panel. After that, I still know. I went over to him. I introduced myself to a mutual friend. And it was just like, wow, this guy is amazing. The same how Nick felt with him, talking to him via Zoom. That's how I felt by sitting on this panel and watching him talking about subjects and topics that nobody else can talk about. And I know BK now for a while. He's a great guy. Today, I told him, it's probably one of the best moments. My son was born 2 weeks ago, first son, and this moment comes right after it. I was speechless. I was almost crying. I was running around like a little kid today because seeing a friend succeeding is probably the best feeling that you ever can get. And you hear my voice, I still have it. It's just an amazing feeling, and I'm so glad. I'm so happy. I can't describe the feelings that I'm going through. And I want to say thank you to everybody that is part of this journey. I know I can be a pain in the ass sometimes, but I honestly, this is worth it. And that's why I'm doing it. And that's why I'm waking up. So congratulations to the Ferrum team. Thank you so much, Ian, to, replying to my text message when I bugged you. He is not here because I wanted to introduce BK to Ferrum Network. Thank you, Harsh, for making this happen. Thank you, Ferrum, Taha, Nick, Nichelle, June, everybody, Dan from NetVRk. It is an amazing ride. Great 6 weeks, probably one of the best in my life. So thank you so much.
Awesome. BK, I think you might be on mute.
My guy. Nah, man, listen, I get choked up too, bro. It's crazy, man. It's like, I remember that panel. I remember meeting Marco, and one of the things I would tell my close friends when I do exhibitions, it's one of the worst times for me because I see people like 3 and 4 people back waiting just to take a picture or to shake my hand or give me a compliment. And it's like, I know I'm rushing through the people in front of me because they're waiting. And so it's like 2 hours of really rushed, non-genuine contact. And that's not me, you know what I'm saying? But it was funny because I remember when I met Marco, even in that same brief moment, I was like, yo, that's a real one, and we started meeting and building. And it was funny, like, I love talking to kids and being able to speak to them. And he worked with a couple of high schools, and that's how it started. And, one thing led to another. And it's just funny because remember when we all had our first Zoom call, it's pretty bad. This is how we know we've been going for a while. I don't even know where everybody is in the world, but I know that we were all gathered and everybody was giving their time. And I remember thinking in my head, yo, B, you gotta stop talking, man. These guys are busy. We've been on the Zoom for like an hour and a half. And it was funny because I remember Harsh was just like, yeah, dude, I think I missed a meeting or something. And we were all like connected. And it's funny, like the painting is called The Hands of Time. And what I was just gonna say in that sentence is like, how apropos in of a time of a pandemic and all of us being disconnected and coming from different worlds, you know, it was so interesting to see like a really genuine human moment with that. And I think that I only know how to be me, man, and wear my heart on my sleeve. And, you know, when I said before that, you know, I expected something like this a long time ago. You know, I've always put the work in. And so it's funny to see, you know, life has this thing of giving you exactly what you want, but not when you can ask for it. You know, it's when you're ready or when it was the right timing. And so aside from the very cool things that we're doing in the crypto space with these companies that are going to be great for creators and artists, and we'll get into all that, there's some really just cool, genuine stuff going on behind the scenes of just a group of people meeting. And for me as an artist, I can't tell you enough, like, again, in this world I feel like we live in, it doesn't matter what news channel you want to turn on. It's like everybody walks out of the house every day and puts like a disguise on or goes through the day in their outfit, you know? And I can never do that. I could never play that game. I could never be that guy, because when you're an artist, you're like naked in the street, man. It's like your heart's on the table, everybody looking at it, right? And I got used to that and built up the skin. I think when we talked earlier, I was like, guys, don't worry about making comments about my work. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's mad different styles. I can be practical about it. But man, I've just really, really tried to do it the right way, guys, from day one. Like, never tried to cheat my craft, never tried to cheat the talent, just tried to do it the right way. And I think it's a win for the good guys. And I think all of us are included in that. The money was crazy today, but I think everybody agrees that the money was just like the cherry on top of it, because it kind of validated everything that we put into it and knew that it could be. But yeah, there's something so much more substantive underneath of that. And, you know, it was funny before when you were talking about the team and the different pieces, it reminds me of a Swiss Army knife, right? Because all those tools sit inside that base carrier, right? So you can hold it in your pocket, you know. And Taha, you might be a screwdriver. I might be the mini pull-out scissors. You know, Marco's the mini hammer. We got the saw, and whatever it is, everybody plays their part. It's a specific tool. And sometimes the tool looks messy, right? They're all in different places, but when they need to be, they come together, form like Voltron. And today, fellas and lady, we were Voltron out here, man. You know, and it's crazy because the calls that I've gotten, I don't want to, you know, listen, I got stories already. I mean, it's crazy. People are like, yo, dude, what did you do today? Like, it's just, I'm hearing like secondary, third, tertiary sources about this. So yeah, I just think it's powerful. And I think one of the things I said to you guys from day one, like, I wanted to show you that it was bigger than me. It was bigger than this. It was about a message. I've got hit up by so many artists that want to know about this. And I feel so great to be able to say, nah, this is a team that cares about creators. You know, again, we living in these crazy times, and what is life without art? It sounds cheesy, but you got to think about it. Not your favorite movie, the music, the design of the car. I like dressing fly. I like my shoes. Like, if that's not all being created, what is life? It's bland, right? And so to me, you guys are like the gatekeepers of that authenticity, you know, and just allowing it to, like, if the creators were on top and not the 360-degree deals and the labels, and, you know, throw on an old documentary about 90s hip hop, 2000s, you see what happened. So I just think it's a different day and age, and couldn't be in a better spot because I really live it and breathe it. And man, it was crazy. I just had a big smile on my face today, like, because I know what you guys put into it. And so I wanted to make sure that I lived up to my end of the bargain. And I feel good about what I put forward, and I hope you guys feel the same. And it's crazy. I feel like it hasn't even stopped that going yet. So it's been great, bro.
No, it like gives me goosebumps listening to you talk, because how your mind works and how you're able to articulate your thoughts through analogies. And what's really exciting for me is what you talk about so much more than just the monetary success, because I think that part that you just mentioned is more important, which leads to a perfect segue to networks partnership and the importance of network in this space, where the way I see it, and I think we've had these conversations before, is through the virtual world that network is creating and the new tools and resources that will be available to artists. It really is going to allow artists to be able to articulate and really visualize their thoughts without the limitations of the physical realm. It's just a whole new way. I remember one time you were talking about, imagine creating this piece and then you create this piece in 3D in the virtual world, but then you can walk into it and you can look on the insides of the piece, and just the way you describe your art, the hands of timepiece, what the different hands mean, what the different hours mean, just being able to walk through that is incredibly, I mean, it gives me goosebumps. So that segue, we have Dan from NetVRk here. He's the Chief Marketing Officer at NetVRk, and NetVRk's about to have their TGE very soon as well, which we're all excited about. I know they have also a private land sale coming up, which leads me to, like, for those of you that don't know, these are really, really limited edition NFTs that went out. Of course, there's the tremendous and the core value of BK's art and what he provides, but our collaborative effort has assigned a lot of utility to it. So owners of these NFTs will get 0.1 allocation worth of private sale tokens sent over to them as long as they hold the NFT for forever, for every single project coming on in the future. You don't have to pledge or contribute, you just get that. You're going to be getting NetVRk tokens, and Ferrum's also sending UREEQA tokens as well. So you cannot get these anywhere else. You probably are not going to be able to ever get them in the future. We don't have any significant plans to launch more with this kind of utility. It may change, but that's not, if you want to bank on that, then I wouldn't place my bets there. So if you want to take advantage of it, you want to head over to a link that's going to be in the description of this video. There's still some Vapor 95 NFTs. There's 5 of them that are up for auction, that's ending in about 12 hours or so right now. So you definitely want to get your hands on those. But coming into why they're so valuable, and the value is first and foremost with BK's art, but second, what that art is going to be able to do in the virtual world and how it's protected. So Dan, can you talk a little bit about what you're feeling at this moment with NetVRk's involvement with this moment in time, and just what do you see in the future with NFTs and art in the NetVRk virtual world?
All right. Well, first off, congratulations, BK. So glad that this was successful, and the world gets to really, see your art in this great way. But yeah, BK's art speaks for itself, and NFTs is just another venue to showcase it. And in NetVRk, we're looking forward to having BK's gallery showcase to showcase his past art, his new work, and just give it a place to live. There's something really special about being able to look at an artist's work and the progression from early work to later work, and really appreciate the art and how it's evolved. And I really think BK's grown a lot as an artist over these years. As you look through his art, it's really beautiful, and just something that's really going to bring a lot of positivity and growth to NetVRk, and really appreciate to work with you, BK, and proud to be part of it.
Love that, Dan. Thanks for sharing that. And I personally am absolutely ecstatic to go into the virtual world and explore BK's art gallery and really see it in ways we can't even perhaps imagine just yet. I can't wait to see what this means for artists overall. So for those of you who are artists out there, you also want to look out for the land sale that NetVRk will be doing, because you can actually take part and build your own galleries, your own playgrounds. And I mean, just there are no limits to it. But then it brings over to a really important conversation. If you can create this really important work, and you can create items that really speak to your life's work, they really speak to what your heart and soul are trying to communicate out to the world, right? Your message. How do you protect that? How do you stop someone with malicious intentions from just coming and grabbing it? And then how do you protect your community from getting taken advantage of, right? We hear stories all the time of like bands, artists, their limited edition items and art pieces. Somebody just takes a picture, puts it up, and then a bunch of people go spend tens of thousands of dollars buying it only to find out that it's fake. It's not authorized by the original party, which is where it really makes me emotional to look at it. Like the mission that UREEQA is solving is not only for people like BK who have really gone from that stage of starting as an artist, and now he's in a place where he's got paintings and collectors such as Alicia Keys, Carmelo Anthony, so on and so forth, really formidable names, but also folks who perhaps don't have the ability to protect their work. So Harsh, can you talk a little bit about what this moment means for you and how it kind of relates to why you started UREEQA in the first place, and just give us your thoughts, how you're feeling in this moment.
Yeah, first off, I just want to thank everyone on this call for the, the coordination, the teamwork, the camaraderie it took to get this truly outstanding result for the man at the center of it, the creator of this fine work, BK himself. I mean, it's been a great journey, and we're just so pumped to be a part of it. I think what we saw tonight is a glimpse of NFT 2.0. NFT 1.0, where a lot of people are still stuck, is you mint an image and you sell it for $1 million, and that's everyone's dream. But that's like a lottery ticket. Most people, they look at those results and they think that's typical. Most NFTs don't sell for anywhere near that. And what we did with this whole BK launch is we took really impressive source creative. I mean, who doesn't love BK's work? And then we added utility, like Ferrum added, the private sale component. We put some NetVRk and UREEQA tokens in there. And then we really plugged a hole that was formed as this NFT space, like the Big Bang, just kind of exploded. There's gaps. We plugged a hole in trust. BK dropped the world's first responsibly minted NFT. Let that sink in. So let's figure out what that means. Let's unpack that. BK didn't need us. BK could go on OpenSea, take his images, create an account, mint it, and sell it. And you know what? Within minutes, someone else will go out and create BK the artiste with an E at the end, copy his image, mint it, sell it. BK's clients, the ones that he cares about, they'll get scammed. They'll lose their money. And BK didn't want that. BK saw a world, he saw an opportunity to do better for his community, and he went the responsible route. So what does that mean? Well, I would consider that irresponsible minting. What BK did is he came to UREEQA, we took his image, we staked it on the blockchain. BK says that's his, but he didn't stop there. He got our validators involved, and BK will be the first to tell you it's not a rubber stamp. I mean, we got BK's ID, we got his picture, we got his proof of address, we got a sworn affidavit with an attorney, we got our validators involved for the originality analysis. We got some internal ones, some external ones that we're training, and they did originality searches. And at the end, the validators voted and they said, yeah, we think BK created it, he owns it, and it was original. And we created this package of proof that everyone can see. You go on BK's listings, it's verified by UREEQA, click the link, check all the work that was performed. Other people can say that it's authentic and NFTs, let them prove it. BK is proving it. So that was, we went through validation, he got his package of proof, but then BK got something that floored him. The other night around midnight when we were minting his NFTs, you guys were on the call, BK realized he had a master NFT for this work, for the Hands of Time. And it was actually 100 ERC 1155s. Think about that. That's like a proxy for shares in his rights to the creative work. So BK in the future can do collateralized IP, can deposit it in a smart contract, borrow stable coins. He can fractionally share some ownership. These are use cases that we're exploring, and it's gonna come. And BK's ahead of the game there. So once he had his validated master, we then used a collectible smart contract to mint and responsibly mint the collectibles that you saw there. And anyone, if they want to know if it's authentic, look at the smart contract, click the verified by UREEQA, look at the only smart contracts BK himself authorized. That's how you know you're safe. That's how you know you're buying an original. And what we haven't told anyone about yet is these private sale access deals. How do you know you have that? We've actually hashed an NFT utility terms on chain into those collectibles, and we'll be explaining that to the community later. These are all things that the buyers don't even know they got, and kudos to them. They own the world's first responsibly minted collectibles, minted by UREEQA. It's been a crazy journey, and we're so glad to be a part of it with BK. We're just doing so much at UREEQA. It's hard to keep track of. We talked about the advisory board. We got an advisor coming on board it's taking 3 weeks to get approval from the organization he's the president of. It's going to be our biggest one yet. We announced partnership with the Ministry of Education in Cyprus. We got BKs coming, first responsibly minted. We got Vapors coming out tomorrow. We minted a validated NFT for the world's first Hollywood musical score, a movie with Terrence Howard called Triumph. That was on Friday. A lot more in the queue. And for UREEQA, we're about to launch something similar to, analogous, I would say, to Ferrum's private sale concept. Imagine the stress of going through, seeing BK's numbers go up from, fraction of an ETH to 8 ETH. Well, what if you had 500 UREEQA tokens and you had access, almost like a private sale, to pre-mint access to deals like that? That's coming very soon. So anyone watching here, you might want to get your 500 UREEQA ready if you're interested in buying prior to public auctions. But like you said, we created this to really, protect, manage, and monetize for all creators, all types. We have sculptors, photos, digital art, books, music, videos, all of it. And we want to do it for emerging and established creators. We're talking to people in West Africa. We're talking, to the Ministry of Education in Cyprus. We want to help all creators, and we'll get there. But we need to do a good job for the established ones, so we can bring the notoriety, so we can help the emerging ones. And like I said in the original Ferrum interview, we're going to walk before we run, and this is us walking. Imagine that. This is us walking. And BK, we couldn't have done it without you. It's all about, it's all about you tonight, buddy. And like, he couldn't have done it for a nicer guy. The first time I met BK, I told my wife, we're going to buy some BK works. I mean, I just love this guy and his work. So thanks again, everyone. It's just great to be a part of this.
Thank you, bro. I got to jump in. I'm sorry, because it was so perfect, because you guys touched on what I wanted to say, and it kind of proves the point of what I wanted to say. There's a spot in between the art world and the crypto world. And that's the gap that you're referring to, or you plug in the hole, right? And when I found out, what is a non-fungible token? What are we talking about here, man? What are we doing, right? And it's funny because there's so many similarities that just haven't come to the surface yet. That's why we get along so well, because a lot of the artist mind, the creator mind, is what built the systems that we're talking about now, and it's a lot of the same ethos about the way you approach life and look at it. And a lot of these things, I mentioned in the post the other day about, monetizing places on earth that traditional banking left behind, and what that does and how it flips it on its head. And so I think when I looked at this, I was like, there's a gap in between there. And I think I could be that gap, because I believe in crypto. I'm familiar with it. I've been watching it. And I just felt like, you're right. I could have just gone on there. I call it the wild, when I talk to Marco, I'm like, Marco, it's the wild, wild west out here, man. I just can't go out there and be on a horse with everybody. Like, what is going on? It's crazy. So I was like, but, obviously Ferrum has established a network of people who are not only savvy in the game, but look at opportunity the same way that we do, and then to be able to incubate projects like UREEQA, who, again, fills this gap and wants to be a liaison to both sides to provide a service to a problem that you see coming and you want to be ahead of. I mentioned the other night about, like, it's like Napster 2 happening, but you being ahead of the curve, right? And then, Dan, with the VR world, I was like a kid in a candy shop the first, you do what? And then you guys, and what? Like, it all works. And so what I'm excited about most is how many people I talked to today that know me and trust me to have vetted something and look at what we showed in proof of concept today. And then to be able to say, hey, listen, come over to the crypto world a little bit. Trust me, you'll like it here. We all think the same. And so and then the collector side about, like you said, I wanted to make the point, who's validating in real life? You see like a garage sale, it's $125 million, so-and-so, and then somebody got one and it's a knockoff, right? And so the same way that they said you collect art because you love it and it looks good in the living room, or you buying it as an asset that doesn't depreciate and hopefully it'll be a Picasso one day, right? There's two different sides to it. There's a gap in the middle and somebody's got to fill that gap. And that's what I think this group can do. And I think it's important because if we talk about power to the people, establishing some kind of balance back, you know, giving people the freedom to live how they want and do it their way, these are the ways. And that's how much I believe in art and creators and giving them these avenues. And so, yeah, man, I think the proof is in the pudding. We couldn't have put all this together. And literally, I had been thinking about a VR gallery. I think I mentioned that I feel like I paint in 3D when I make these paintings. After a long night of painting, I always get a headache because I'm like looking at 4 different layers. You know, I'm like concentrating cross-eyed, and it to think that now I can start that composition, because I smiled before when you said, you know, past work and future work. So this is the only thing I wanted to leave with. This, I got all that out so I didn't forget. You know, sometimes I ask the universe, like, man, listen, just let me get to a place where the opportunities ahead of me and I could just boogie and see what I can do. And so with what happened today, what's on the horizon with the conference, the fact that, you know, I've been blessed with the freedom right now to just really, you know, get into my paintbrushes. And I told you I named it Acrylic Alchemy because I feel like I'm cooking with swords, right? And I'm just going to start slicing some canvas, man. And then what we're going to be able to do with that, now that I have these extensions on my Swiss Army knife. I never had a harsh before. I got a harsh now. I didn't have a Taha. I didn't have my man June over there. June again with the background, man. You're killing the game. I love it. But, you know, it's just to have these things. And so, you know, it was funny how the same things that you touched on, I like thought I was cool keeping in my bag. Like, oh, now I got these good points, but you already said them. I'm just reiterating them. And that's why I think those two worlds can really be powerful together, between who Marco Network touches, you know, because the artists that make life better need to be protected and should have the, you know, the financial tools to really flourish. And I think this changes the game for everybody. So quite interesting how we all see it the same, which again proved my point. So I love it.
No, it's so really awesome to hear you talk about some of these things, BK, that are more than just your own entry into the space, you setting the example and merging for those who don't know the space as well. And I think that's like, when I think of the legend of BK, I don't think of it as just like the first awesome NFT drop. I don't think of it as just the amazing artwork. I think of it as what it all conveys. And I think that's really powerful. And I love what Harsh mentioned into how when there's people willing to take that leap, like BK was, to kind of get into this space and be that beacon of light as to how this should be done the right way. That UREEQA has the ability to not only protect that work, but then now give these new tools and resources that didn't really exist before in a secure manner, where now people can be part of that journey with you, especially with the tokenization and people being able to own a percentage of the art that they might be commissioning for you to build out, or for different artists to build out. So that's super exciting. And then what you can do with NetVRk is really exciting. So I'm just thrilled. I'd love to give the team a chance to share their feedback, and then we'll close this out. It's been a great time talking to everybody. But Nichelle, I know you're here. So just to give everybody an idea, so we have Nichelle here, who's part of Ferrum's GST team. She's the EVP of Ops. We have Nick, who you've met earlier. He's the EVP of Strategic Partnership. And we have our awesome marketing strategist, June, here as well. And so there's obviously folks that really spearheaded the effort behind this NFT, but then there's also folks behind the scenes, Yvonne, Maddie, Ian, really the whole team. I mean, Dom, I can keep going down the list, but the whole team really came together to make this happen. Just because they're not on screen right now doesn't mean that these are all the folks that made this happen. It takes a village, really. So we want to thank each and every one of them. But Nichelle, could you share some of your thoughts about this moment, and then we'll kind of head from there. June, maybe if you can speak after, and then I'll close this out. And yeah, would love to hear your thoughts, Nichelle.
I'll keep my statements brief because I want to give my amazing colleague June his time in the sun to share some really brilliant ideas that I know he has. But just I want to share, I think, really along the lines of what everyone else was sharing today. You know, BK, this was such an amazing experience to walk these steps with you at the very beginning. You know, and NetVRk and UREEQA and Ferrum coming together in a very symbiotic way to really witness you creating this catalyst into this NFT world. And really what you spoke to of the pandemic and the things happening in the world that is just so extreme in the last year, that it also creates opportunity in the chaos, right? And this was an amazing opportunity for everyone that's on this call and all of the teams behind our separate organizations to make this powerful and this happen for someone and an artist like you, BK. So I know for myself, I feel so privileged to really have experienced this with you and seen what this looks like. And I'm more excited to see your brands be built within this space, you know, this really NFT 2.0, BK 2.0, and really see where this can go, because it's amazing to be at the beginning. I know we're going to all have great stories to tell each other, you know, a couple of years down the road. Remember that first time we did this launch and how nobody slept and we all just went crazy when it passed 1 ETH and then it passed 5 ETH. And I remember when I woke up and I told you I had a dream, and Harsh said he had the exact same dream. I'm like, it's gonna go over 5. And I'm like, I woke up and it was true, it came true. And it's like, oh my gosh, everyone's mind is just spinning right now. But it's a testament to your artwork, to you as a human being. You know, everybody, when we had that first call that you referenced, that was like an hour and a half long, everyone got on board because they could see how genuine you were. And you know, I feel like it's the human condition to want to build people up when there's that opportunity. And NetVRk and UREEQA and Ferrum, every single organization here had that opportunity. And it was amazing to see everyone come together with their skills and just make it happen. So I am just really privileged to be here and just work with every single one of you that's on this call and behind the scenes and just to be witness to this moment in time.
Thank you for that, Nichelle. And first of all, BK, first and foremost, congratulations. It's an honor for me to be a part of this amazing and historical journey with you. And the only thing I want to say, because you guys said everything I wanted to say and more, I want everyone who is gracious enough to join us in our live stream today, that the token utility that comes with BK's NFTs are truly unprecedented in this space. And I don't think these NFTs have even, the true value of these NFTs have even been realized yet. In a way, you can say that owning one of these NFTs is just as valuable as holding Ferrum tokens, if not more, as you know, there's no additional investments required, no gas to send or receive tokens. You know, it's a lifetime of private sale allocation just for holding these NFTs in your wallet. You know, I'm talking about passive income forever. That's why I see these NFTs as being priceless. And for those who may be thinking that they missed out or, you know, maybe missed a boat on this, there's still one last opportunity to own one of these NFTs. There is less than 15 hours now before the last 5 NFTs that Ferrum is, you know, a part of are completely sold out. And the next time we will see it, you know, it'll be listed on OpenSea, and it will likely sell for a lot more than whatever it's gonna, you know, end at the auction for. So hopefully everyone's aware of that, and you guys can take advantage.
Yeah, Jun, that's a great point. So I wanna kind of end with a segue off of that. Like, if I recall correctly, I think the Metal Ox was around, if I might be mistaken here, but one of the Metal Ox series around 1.23 ETH, and now it's at like about 63 ETH in the aftermarket. So these, each pieces went for about 8, and the utility assigned to these is at least 10-fold more compared to Metal Ox. I would say, in the sense of like what it means in terms of contribution going forward. So what does that mean? That means is that the rarity level of these is extremely rare. Ferrum has no plans in the future to announce any more with this kind of utility as of yet. That may change, but as of right now, for the foreseeable future, we just don't plan to do something. And the reason for that is that we align this kind of utility with a certain caliber of creator, with a certain caliber of artist. And that caliber obviously is represented by BK. And Vapors brand, they represent a set of artists and an ethos that is really, as you go to their TikTok and their Instagram, you'll kind of see the depth of the art that they're bringing to the space. So this is going to be very, very rare. And if you want to take advantage of it, you can go to bit.ly/FRM Vapor NFT. So bit.ly/FRM Vapor NFT. And you still have, as Jun mentioned, a few hours to take advantage of those. We'll be sharing more links about that going forward. But in closing, I kind of really want to just thank everybody. I want to thank BK, Harsh, Dan, all of the teams behind you guys at NetVRk and UREEQA. Marco, I want to thank you for the connection. And really, everybody really helped put this together. This is a tremendous moment. It's an honor for me, and I know for everyone else, to be here with you guys. And you guys just made it a lot of fun. And I can't wait to see what the future holds and the future NFT art drops that you have, BK, because I know you have some. This piece was a digital version. You still have the original in store for this, and some of the other pieces that you've teased us with. I mean, I know I'm going to be bidding on those, so I can't wait. Thank you, everybody, for being on here. And thank you to the Ferrum community and for everybody that actually bid on the NFTs as well. You guys are really the people that made this happen. The value that you saw in it, the value that we all saw in it. We were right there bidding with you. Some of, I know some of the governance committee members were sort of doing a bid battle amongst each other to try to bid each other out. So that was fun. And I know that's going to happen again with Vapor tomorrow. So once again, thank you so much and have a absolute